is the $75 million that the WNBA players gave up 16% for. Where did that money go, Abe? That would be my question, because your point is valid, but where is the 16%? Because if I'm correctly, if they did this raise, then basically they gave up a percentage of equity to market the WNBA, to build up the WNBA, to be diluted or be it in a CBA agreement.
The WNBA has a $1 billion asset in Caitlin Clark, and they're letting other players treat her like a human piñata. She's being hip-checked, body-slammed, and targeted with a level of aggression that has nothing to do with basketball. While brands are lining up to hand her $28 million contracts, the league she's single-handedly saving is paying her just $76,000 and turning a blind eye as she gets mauled on national television. This isn't just about hard fouls or rookie hazing. This is a story of jealousy, money, and a system in crisis, desperately trying to control the phenom who is rewriting all its rules.
Arbys has a new spokeswoman, and it just so happens to be Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, that's right. She is now on the Arbys payroll, is what is happening. And maybe Arbys is going to snap back to relevance now. Here she is in the new shirt that we saw her in this weekend. Hot girls eat Arby's. Sizes small and large have already sold out on the Arbys web. This is a
The numbers surrounding Caitlin Clark are so astronomical, they almost sound like a misprint. Her official WNBA rookie contract pays her a modest $76,535 for her first year. Now hold that number in your mind and compare it to the economic tidal wave she has unleashed. The Caitlin Clark effect is a real, measurable force. Overall merchandise sales, driven by her iconic number 22 jersey, have skyrocketed by an unbelievable 500%. When the Indiana Fever play on the road, the average ticket price for that game jumps by 140%. Arenas that once had rows of empty seats are now electric cauldrons of noise, sold out to the rafters with fans, many new to the sport desperate to witness her magic in person.
Arby's, they have the meats, now has Indiana star Sophie Cunningham's Hot Girls Eat Arby's t-shirts. Sold out, by the way. Sponsored by them, by the way. Broke the internet on this one.
On top of all this, the league is on the verge of negotiating a new media rights deal that is expected to be worth billions of dollars, a negotiation made infinitely stronger because of the viewership she commands. She isn't just a player, she's a walking, talking economic stimulus package, single-handedly elevating the financial future of an entire league. The irony is staggering. While she generates hundreds of millions in value, her official worth on paper remains a fraction of that.
That has gotten ridiculously popular this year with the Indiana Fever. I made a prediction that she was going to be the second most popular player on this team by the end of the year. And then, of course, there was the big incident during the Connecticut Sun game. And by the end of that game, she was known as Caitlin Clark's enforcer, right? The one that's got her back. At times, it feels like the only one that's got her back.
Forget a warm welcome to the league. Caitlin Clark's professional debut has been less of a celebration and more of a demolition derby. From the very first game, she's been treated like a human pinball, bounced between defenders in a style of play that often looks more like a WWE cage match than professional basketball. We've seen her hip-checked by opponents running at full speed, decked on her way to the basket with no call, and shoved from behind with a level of aggression usually reserved for enforcers in the NHL.
Clark is driving the WNBA insane. It's to the point that she may need to step away from the WNBA, have a billionaire come in that has the money to prove a point, and say, Caitlin, I'll pay you $50 million just to see if the WNBA can make it without you. Let's go create a completely different league and expose the hell out of the WNBA just to embarrass this Angel Reese girl that Jameel Hill just said she could go down as a Michael Jordan of WNBA.
Yeah.
And what?
It's a relentless physical assault happening night after night. While some might dismiss it as a standard rookie initiation, it feels far more personal, more targeted. The league's most popular player is also its most punished. The hits are brutal, constant, and designed to send a message. But the physical abuse itself isn't the most shocking part of this story. It's the deafening silence from the officials that follows.
That has led to a lot of opportunities. By the way, she had a little bit of a down game yesterday against the Sky, but prior to that, for the last couple weeks, Sophie Cunningham had been balling out on the basketball court ever since she started getting put in to the starting lineup. So we got a couple of different things that have emerged when it comes to Sophie. Number one, let's start with what happened yesterday, because she has gone viral, all right? She's gone viral over hot girls eat Arby's.
In the world of professional sports, star players are considered protected assets. An NBA official would never stand by and watch someone body slam Steph Curry without blowing the whistle. If a defender so much as breathed too hard on LeBron James during a drive, a foul would be called instantly to protect the league's biggest draw. But for Caitlin Clark, a bizarre and frustratingly different set of rules seems to apply. The officials watch her get mugged at midcourt and simply motion to play on. They witness her getting knocked to the floor on a blatant, illegal screen and look the other way as if they saw nothing.
Unmeasurable greatness of Caitlin Clark. The unmeasurable greatness of Caitlin Clark. You know, I've said a lot of times I like Caitlin Clark, right? But I never told you why or really I like Caitlin Clark or what is it about Caitlin. Caitlin Clark has unmeasurable greatness. You know what unmeasurable greatness is? Is when they give you a $28 million contract that's worth $280 million, right? That's the true value of what Caitlin's worth, right? I mean, Caitlin Clark effect has sent an earthquake through the NCAA basketball, right?
This isn't just a few missed calls in the heat of the moment. It's a consistent pattern of non-enforcement. It's a glaring double standard that has fans, analysts, and even casual viewers screaming at their televisions, wondering if the referees have collectively misplaced their whistles, or if they are following some unspoken league mandate to let them play, but only when it comes to fouls against Clark. The message being sent to her, whether intended or not, seems painfully clear. You're on your own, kid.
Yeah, talking about
Caitlin Clark.
Oh, okay.
The WNBA player who deserves a max contract. She worth more than the league by herself.
The best WNBA player ever.
While Caitlin Clark is being treated like an afterthought on the court, the business world is treating her like absolute royalty. The ink is barely dry on her staggering 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal with Nike, a contract that completely dwarfs her entire 4-year WNBA salary. She's gracing billboards, starring in national commercials, and sits at the center of a media storm that follows her every move. Her gravitational pull is so immense that it's even creating new, unexpected stars in its orbit. Suddenly, her Indiana Fever teammate, Sophie Cunningham, becomes a viral sensation overnight for wearing a t-shirt that reads "Hot Girls Eat Arbys," and the shirts sell out online within hours. This is the Caitlin Clark effect in its purest form, a rising tide that lifts all boats. She is living in two completely different realities at once, collecting bruises and absorbing cheap shots during the game, only to turn around and sign multi-million-dollar contracts after it.
So her rookie contract is for 4 years, just under $340,000. From the entrepreneurship perspective, last year she made over $3 million as a collegiate athlete.
In sponsorship, right? NIL.
And so this makes me think about the fact that there are a lot of people building brands and influence online, and they don't all aspire to be owners of companies, but they do desire to work for organizations and leaders. But what I see when I see those numbers, I see failed leadership of the WNBA. That's what I think.
Yeah, and you're talking about her income?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they couldn't even get her above $500,000.
So why is this happening? Why would a league allow its brightest star to be targeted? The answer can likely be boiled down to one powerful, corrosive emotion: resentment. For years, the WNBA has been a league of highly skilled, quiet professionals playing for the love of the game, largely outside of the national spotlight. Then, Caitlin Clark arrived, and she didn't just join the league, she took it over. Some veterans and critics see her as an overhyped media darling who hasn't paid her dues in the traditional sense. They whisper that she complains too much, or that her flashy long-range style of play isn't real basketball. But what they might really be angry about is that she didn't just break scoring records. She broke the unspoken rules of the league's established hierarchy. She is a disruptive force, a high-definition TV in a room full of old black and white sets, and her sheer, undeniable talent is exposing cracks in a system that many wanted to keep hidden. This isn't just healthy competition. At times it looks a lot like jealousy in a jersey.
You know the big talk been the money thing.
You see her Caitlyn contract?
I
heard about it today.
For 300 is crazy.
She making $76,000 this year.
I would say people break it down. First of all, they said the one she making $77,000 a year. They said James Harden got fined $100.
But though,
Calling somebody a liar.
what is their season? 4 months? Yeah, it's short.
Yeah, it's short.
So it's like, I get it. It's short. 4 months you making $76,000. It ain't just terrible, but for her, it's bad. Like,
but it's terrible. I think, and it's more because we've been knowing it's been bad.
Through all the on-court chaos, the relentless cheap shots, and the endless chorus of critics, Caitlin Clark remains remarkably, almost unnervingly, composed. Where another player would lash out and earn a technical foul, she responds by sinking a logo 3 on the next possession. Where others would get ejected for arguing, she has a quiet, polite word with the referee before getting back on defense. This incredible mental toughness wasn't born overnight. It was forged by her parents, who raised a generational superstar without raising a diva. They instilled in her a bedrock foundation of humility, hard work, and a deep, unshakable love for the game itself. She's not on the court to prove people wrong or to engage in drama. As she has said time and again, she's just there to hoop. Her ability to absorb all the negativity and channel it into breathtaking, record-breaking performances is perhaps her greatest weapon. It's the one thing her critics can't stand, because it proves she's not just talented, she's unbreakable.
The WNBA will make $1 billion this year.
But that's okay.
Overall merchandise sales by Fanatics grew since Caitlin Clark's been in the league. It's grown by 500%. Overall sales of merchandise from Dick's Sporting Goods has grown to 233%. Fever's net value went from $90 million to $340 million. Average price of games jumped by 140% if Fever play on the road. No other teams, just a Fever.
Good.
Overall,
good. I like these
WNBA
stats.
attendance has grown by 50%.
Thank you.
The WNBA signed an 11-year TV deal worth $2.2 billion and prompted league expansion to 15 teams by 2028. So it's not
coincidence.
Perhaps the most insidious narrative being pushed by her critics is the idea that she just needs to toughen up. It's a phrase thrown around by commentators and rival players, a seemingly harmless piece of advice that is actually a masterclass in gaslighting. It cleverly shifts the blame from the aggressor to the victim. The problem isn't the illegal, dangerous plays. The problem is her inability to withstand them. This argument would be laughed out of the room in any men's professional league. No one told Michael Jordan to toughen up when the bad boy Pistons were trying to injure him. They called it a dirty strategy. No one tells a quarterback to toughen up after a late hit. The offender gets fined and flagged. But when it's Caitlin, the narrative is twisted. Her pleas for basic officiating are framed as complaining. The expectation that she should be protected is framed as entitlement. It's a calculated attempt to normalize the abuse she's enduring and to paint her as weak for not simply accepting it with a smile.
He's signing an 8-year, $28 million Nike deal, but for some people it caused controversy since they're arguing that there are other WNBA players already in the league who don't even have a deal like that. So just in general, what do you guys think about the discourse between that? And then what do you guys think of the major deal that she is receiving?
Yeah, I think anyone's upset with Caitlin Clark's deal doesn't understand the publicity that's on the line here. When you think of being in front of a national camera for 36 games, almost back to back, that type of promotion, you would have to pay top dollar for it.
While the referees may be silent, the court of public opinion is in full session, and the verdict is nearly unanimous. The millions of new fans Caitlin Clark has brought to the WNBA are not passive spectators. They are a digitally savvy, vocal, and protective army. They are on social media, acting as citizen journalists, clipping every missed call, every cheap shot, and every hypocritical comment from the league's defenders. They create viral threads, dissecting plays frame by frame, and exposing the officiating double standard in high definition for the world to see. This has created a public relations nightmare for the league, which can no longer hide behind vague statements about physicality. Every game is now under a microscope, and every foul against Clark is a potential social media firestorm. The WNBA wanted the attention that she brings, but they may not have been prepared for the accountability that comes with it. Her fans aren't just buying tickets, they're demanding a better, fairer product. Make no mistake, what we are witnessing is bigger than basketball. It's a revolution disguised as a sporting event. Caitlin Clark is not just a great player, she is a cultural catalyst, fundamentally altering the perception and value of women's sports in real time. She embodies a new era where female athletes are not just participants, but are recognized as powerful, marketable icons who can drive economies and command mainstream attention on par with their male counterparts. The resistance she is facing, the on-court aggression, the thinly veiled criticism, is the last gasp of an old guard that is deeply uncomfortable with this paradigm shift. They aren't just fighting against a 22-year-old from Iowa, they are fighting against the future. A future where talent, not gender, dictates worth. A future where women's sports are not a niche market, but a global powerhouse. Her legacy won't be defined by the fouls she endured, but by the glass ceilings she shattered with every three-pointer. This leaves the WNBA with $1 billion paradox on its hands. The league is currently experiencing unprecedented growth in viewership, attendance, and revenue, almost entirely on the back of a 22-year-old phenom. Yet the on-court environment it's allowing feels almost designed to wear her down, to punish her for the very success that is enriching everyone else. The clock is ticking loudly. Every hard foul that goes uncalled, every headline about her being targeted, pushes her closer to a breaking point. Wild speculation has already surfaced, with some imagining a scenario where a billionaire offers her $50 million just to sit out a season and prove the league can't survive without her. While that sounds like a fantasy, it points to a terrifying potential reality for the league. Their greatest asset is also their most unprotected. Does the WNBA finally step up to protect its investment, or does it risk watching the incredible Caitlin Clark effect devolve into the devastating Caitlin Clark exit? The future of an entire sport could hang on that single question. History is being written in real time, and whether the league likes it or not, Caitlin Clark is the one holding the pen.